Well, hello there, everybody. I'm Jack. Welcome to the weekend edition of Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for tuning in today. It's early on Saturday morning. I've had about 36 ounces of watermelon juice, and I'm getting ready to head down to Pensacola, do a little fruit run for the day. I'm out of mangoes in the house. The watermelon quality in my little town's been going down a little bit, so I'm going to make a trip down and see if I can score some of those watermelons I got a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, just looking forward to a nice day. It's going to be a scorcher though, so I'm going to have another jar of juice when I finish before I take off. Today we're going to talk about meditation in action, breathing love. Guys, I do videos every day, so if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go down there and subscribe now. And then when you do that, click on the little bell and check send notifications. I'm bleeding subscriptions, I can tell. You got to do that. I don't know why YouTube doesn't fix that algorithm. I was talking algorithms with a friend last night, and I still say out of all the three big ones, this has nothing to do with the talk, I like Amazon. There's Amazon, then there's the Google network, and then there's the Facebook, Instagram. I like Amazon's algorithm. It's the best one out there. YouTube, could use some work. This is a good one. This is from that same magazine I read from last week. I told you there's some really good stuff in here. Light of Consciousness. And I've got another one that I wanted to read for you today. Love will always prevail over fear if we commit to it. Love antidotes hatred, judgment, and prejudice, and trust counteracts fear, worry, and doubt. In every moment, it is up to us to choose whether love or fear will guide us. Most of us would define ourselves by the combination of personality characteristics we embody and the roles we play. Although true on one level, this is an incomplete understanding of who we truly are and quite limiting when it comes to love. As long as we identify solely with the ego personality, our self-esteem and self-worth will fluctuate according to how much validation or acceptance we are receiving from others. This keeps us on an endlessly swinging pendulum between joy and suffering. But when we shift our identification from small personality-based self to soul self, we remember our completeness as love and realize that we are not separate struggling beings, but part and parcel of the divine energy of love. By committing to remember this every day, we develop greater courage and trust our goal to guide the fallible human self. To do this, forming an inner commitment to love is essential. Our inner commitments help us maintain overarching values in life, ones that inform all the outer movements we make. Unlike goals that define what we want to accomplish in life, inner commitments define essentially why we do what we do. Think of them as intentions that lead us closer to external goals. Here are some examples. To make choices based on love, not fear. To prioritize personal spiritual growth. To share vulnerability rather than hide in distrust. To live mindfully, present in each moment. To know our true spiritual self. To live more from soul and less from ego. If we wish to move into a more expansive experience of love, we must define inner commitments for our lives that reflect this dedication. Then, as we stay true to our personal vision for a life of meaning, purpose, and love, we maintain our equanimity regardless of life's inevitable emotional blows to the ego self. Love builds trust. As we take more responsibility for our inner world, we come to trust the moment and ourselves in the moment, regardless of life's constantly changing circumstances. We begin to care less about the destination and more about the commitments that guide our way to loving purely and freely. And we become more compassionately responsive to our outer world. Daily meditation practice helps empty the mind of external forces that weigh on us, cleansing inner perceptions so we can hear intuitive solutions and guidance. True trust lives beyond the rational mind. In fact, the mind may not ever fully understand the promptings of trust-led consciousness, and that is okay. The mind cannot fully know love either, the heart does. Although it is human nature to cling to things and people we think will keep us safe or in charge, anyone who has lost a beloved knows that life will not be controlled. It is here on the field of insecurity that we must learn to master courage by maintaining a practice of vulnerability and trusting that we are safe inside the greater reality of divine love. Fear simply cannot occupy the same place as love. They are like darkness and light. When the light goes on, the darkness disappears. Love will always prevail over fear if we commit to it. Love antidotes hate, judgment, and prejudice, and trust counteracts fear, worry, and doubt. In every moment, it is up to us to choose whether love or fear will guide us. They cannot both run the show. It's all about perspective. One year, I realized the power of electing to trust when I rented a beach house in New Hampshire. Each morning, I would sit and meditate in front of a large window, facing the sand dunes and the sea. The window's double pane seal was broken, and because of this, moisture created a fog inside the window that I could not clear. Little rivulets of dampness would trickle down and make streaks that distracted me, and that I thought looked ugly. Often I would catch myself focusing on the fog and the streaks, the irritating barrier between me and a clear view of the majestic beauty outside. Until one day, I relaxed my vision and focused on the distance rather than the foreground. Suddenly, the distracting, ugly view disappeared, and my vision merged with the brilliant colors and contours of grassy dunes and rising sun out beyond. Once again, I perceived the morning's beauty. Trusting love is like this. As humans in a flawed world, we will never find reasons why we dare not trust or love, dare not extend ourselves in vulnerability. From political leaders to partners and friends, people have and will continue to betray us, go against their word, and fail to live in truth. Everything in this world is unpredictable, imperfect, and untrustworthy, and we are looking at the fog and the streaks, not the magnificent that lives beyond them. In the quiet inner space of meditation, when our egos relax, we can then approach the grandeur within. Even one moment of pure awareness reveals a love so great that it is beyond measure. No person, however trusted that may be, can give this to us, simply because it is already right there waiting within us. All defenses become unnecessary as we let go into the love that created us. Good stuff, good stuff. I enjoy reading right after, when I read these in the morning, I'm a little bit more plugged in because I've switched back over to meditating in the morning about 3 weeks ago. It's right about, it's starting to settle back into a habit, and I enjoy that. I enjoy doing it in the morning. But yeah, this was a really nice reading here. Ego. That's a practice for me. That's why, that's why I'm always kind of saying I need to get beyond the food. I don't have time to think about the food because I've got other flaws and issues and things that I need to work on in my life that don't revolve around putting something in my mouth all the time. But anyhow, just going to have a little short one today. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a wonderful weekend. Peace.